here we are. Time to revisit because 13 Reasons Why released a new season recently, and so watched it all the way through, beginning to end, and the after show thing that they have. Watched all that stuff, and it's kind of painful to watch in some instances for a couple of reasons. It really, from the main takeaway that I got from it, this is my main thing that I got out of it, is from the world standpoint, the worldview of secularism. Once you've been branded as evil, whether that's because you're a rapist, because you're a racist, because you're whatever it is that you are, once you've been branded as that, homophobic or something, that's it. You now have no hope in society. You can do whatever you want to try and recover physical, like even experimenting with sort of pagan physical exercise things in order to try and recover, do therapy, you can do whatever you want, but once you've been branded as evil, that's it for you, no more. That's all you will ever be. There's no coming back, there's no redemption, there's no penance, there's no anything that you can do that will allow you to come back into kind of the middle part of society again. You'll definitely not be a hero. Because that's the story of Bryce Walker from season 3. You take all that garbage from everything that happens at the school, because it basically is meaningless. Take all that stuff and throw it away, and all that's left is a story of a kid who was found guilty, not punished, because society, the same society that refuses to let someone recover, to be redeemed from evil, also doesn't punish it either. And that's a little bit of a package deal. If you don't punish anything, then redemption is impossible either. There's a thing. But that's... And so now he's going through different things to like try and learn stuff about himself, to try and do introspection, reflection, journaling. He's in therapy and stuff. And he's, from the looks of things, as far as the way the character is portrayed, it looks like he's making genuine effort to try and grow as a person. And every time he turns around, all the mud from his past is just thrown back in his face again. And there's no hope for him. Nobody cares. Everyone's just in their emotions against him. And that is probably the strongest contrast I've ever seen to the way between that's the secular world versus the way the gospel is supposed to function. And that the premise of the biblical narrative is that you are unholy, you're impure, you are broken, but there's hope for you because Christ made it possible for there to be hope for you. That's it. Like, that's that. Christ's death is supposed to be your death. His resurrection is supposed to be your resurrection. That's the gospel, essentially, boiled very, very down, dilute. But if it's not for someone else, then it's not for you either. Because if you want to slice off a part of society and put those people that have committed that act, or committed or complimented or protected or whatever that act over there, then you need to put yourself into that same box that you're putting those people in. Why do I say that? Because if, let's say, rape, you want to put rape into that box, or murder into that box, that once a person has done this specific thing, that's it, no more. Well, then the Sermon on the Mount, Jesus' teaching, says that if you've lusted, then you've committed adultery. You've already, in your heart, forced that person unknowingly or against their will. And so you are just as guilty of rape as Bryce Walker is. We are all the same that way. If you have ever thought, hateful thoughts towards another person, regardless of the circumstances, then you've murdered them in your heart. That you're a murderer just as much as that, like whatever you put over there, you're in that box too. And so if there's no redemption for those people in the box, there's no redemption for you either. That's what our society is dealing with. That if there's no redemption for the worst, there's no redemption for anyone. We're all living in this miry, dirt-filled, pestilential mud puddle, essentially, together. We're all just covered, and there's no way to get out of it. Well, the gospel is that both the safety railing around it to keep people out of that pigsty, but it's also the rope in the middle of it that's just hanging there to pull people out with. If you don't believe the gospel is true, if you don't believe that Christ came, that he lives, that he died, that he resurrected, that he's life, like if you don't believe those things, then you are in that pit and you are in that misery and there isn't hope for you. So I think it's something to kind of recognize, to reckon with, to deal with is, do you believe that hope is real? Do you believe that redemption is possible? Do you believe that repentance is possible for even the most egregious act? Because it's already been made available to you through Christ. All you have to do is accept it. And doesn't mean that you're not going to have to go through some stuff in order to make, like, that's, like, it's showing the gap. Really, the narrative is showing the gap of that. If you were to insert the gospel into the narrative, still going to therapy, still trying to work with his emotions, still just the habits that he had formed about way he treats women and stuff, like dealing with all those things still, plus the gospel, peace, hope, righteousness, and you have a solid character narrative. But you take that gospel out and the whole thing just feels hollow, purposeless, and meaningless. So if your world feels meaningless as the result of something like that, maybe it's because you need to put the gospel into the middle of it and see how it changes.